Hi, this is Chris Davis for SlashGear.com, and today we're looking at the Velocity Mobile 103. It's the first smartphone to launch from the company, runs Windows Mobile 6.1 Pro, and it's a quad-band GSM, tri-band 3G, HSDPA, HSUPA smartphone with Wi-Fi BG and GPS, as well as Bluetooth 2.1. So we're just going to have a little look around what functionality the 103 has. As you can see, the main input feature is this 2.8 inch VGA touchscreen. It's resistive, unlike capacitive touchscreens as seen on things like the iPhone and the new BlackBerry Storm. Looking around the edges, you've got on this side a shortcut for the camera, volume up and down controls, and this shortcut here loads up Velocity Mobile's own Odyssey GUI, which is kind of like an overlay GUI for Windows Mobile. On this side, although it looks like you can open it, actually you can't. That's a micro SD slot, and you have to remove the rear battery cover to get to it. On the back there is a camera. That's a 2 megapixel camera with a mirror and the speaker. And on the front there is a VGA camera for video calls. On the front there is a trackball and end call and start call controls, and on the bottom there's a mini USB port. This little slider here is to open up the battery cover, and there's also the microphone and a headphone socket, and you can also see that here there is the stylus. Now the idea though of the Odyssey GUI is that you won't actually need to use the stylus, and you can activate it either by pressing the side button or by sweeping up on the screen like that. And what you get at first is this row of 4 icons which come preset to the calendar, messaging, contacts and date book, and you can also scroll across to get more options. So for instance there's Picture Viewer and Internet Explorer. And what you can also do is hold down on these, tap them once to load the app up, so to look at a picture, and then we can go back to the main menu, bring back up Odyssey, scroll over to that, hold down on it, and it gives us the option to close it rather than having to go through Windows Normal Task Manager. So we'll just do that if we can. No, we won't bother. Otherwise, if you want more options, more programs to access, you can sweep up again, and you get the full program menu list. So this is more like an app launcher, and you can see you've got things from Notes, Media, and you can scroll up through. It's a resistive touchscreen, so it doesn't feel quite as smooth as, say, the iPhone does, but it's pretty good. So for instance, we've loaded up Notes there, and you can change around the order of which apps are shown here on this first 4 row, and also which apps are shown here as well. The start menu is tweaked slightly. With slightly larger font, but there's not a huge amount of change there, and generally Odyssey doesn't go into as much detail as something like HTC's TouchFlow 3D. Something else that Velocity Mobile are quite keen on discussing is what they're calling VOTA, which is Velocity over the Air. Now this is a way of updating your smartphone without having to plug it into your computer, for instance, and having to download packages that way. On the device, we don't actually have a network connection at the minute, but what you would be able to do is just tap the download button. It would check if any updates were available for the handset. And even if there are multiple updates, for instance, there might be a firmware update for the baseband modem, or there might be a new version of a messaging client, for instance, it will combine all of those apps together into one software package, download that straight to the phone, and you can install it just with one click. So that's the Velocity Mobile 103. It's available now. It's only available unlocked at the moment, priced from around $400 to $500. So it's not a cheap smartphone. We'll have the full review on SlashGear.com. Thanks for watching.